And now let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who I know was extra careful this morning.
Extra careful. I was driving like a grandma down the road. No joke. I don't mess around with that. It was, you know, I always take precaution, as we all should. So good morning to you, ladies. Good morning to you at home. 4 down and 1 more to go. Police in Los Lunas have caught most of the people they say broke into a Walmart on Christmas Day and stole $30,000 worth of guns and electronics. But the hunt is still on for one man, this one right here, Gary Wilson. They say he was working with Emilio Larson and 3 teenagers. Cops say they were all the ones who stole all the stuff, including 6 guns. Now, investigators say they found those guns and some of the electronics within the last few days. They say one of the suspects, Emilio Larson, actually used to work at a couple of Walmarts in Albuquerque.
He also knew that, I won't give out specifics, but he knew the alarm system, knew how to gain entry without tripping it, knew how to leave without tripping it, knew that the security guard would drive around every so many minutes.
So that suspect that the officer is talking about, Emilio Larson, and the 3 teens all now face charges. Parents in Albuquerque, this may bring you some relief. The Albuquerque Public School District is reviewing and upgrading its security and surveillance systems following the Sandy Hook massacre. News 13 got a look inside the dispatch center at district headquarters recently, where APS police monitor the surveillance cameras installed at most schools. The cameras are motion activated. They're set up in hallways, libraries, cafeterias, playgrounds, and parking lots. So far, they tell us that they have caught vandals. They've been able to keep track of teachers and have even watched over students. The district won't say how many of its 140 schools have these cameras, but the state is giving APS more money to buy more. A lot of parents in Albuquerque are still a bit on edge after learning that a teacher's assistant at one elementary school was arrested, accused of having child porn. The school district sent a letter home with kids at Montezuma Elementary School yesterday, talking about Carrie Gonzalez and her husband, who were arrested on Friday. The district is telling parents that right now, the couple is not accused of doing anything inappropriate with students at the school, but some parents are now wondering how much one-on-one time Gonzalez had with kids.
Educational assistants work in the classroom with the teacher. So again, Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department has not asked those questions. That's not anything that they've looked at. I don't know that that's a concern of theirs, but we're working closely with them.
Carrie Gonzalez, by the way, is on paid suspension. The district could fire her, we're told, before a trial gets started if the district decides that charges against her are credible. Your kids' education, banning texting and driving, the talk about all that and more officially starts today at the Roundhouse. That is because state legislators go back to work for this year's session in just a few hours. They'll have to pass the state's next budget. That includes having an extra $200 million in new money. Democrats and Republicans on the Legislative Finance Committee want to use that to give state workers a small pay raise, but the governor is not quite for the idea. And right after legislators get started to go back to work, Governor Susana Martinez will give her State of the State address, and that is scheduled to go off around noon, actually at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. that is scheduled to take place. Of course, we will be there at the Roundhouse and let you know what the governor says later on today on KRQE News 13, as well as on KRQE.com. That wraps it up for your Tuesday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt, Kristen, and myself every weekday morning on KRQE News 13 beginning at 4:30 a.m. All right, ladies, sending it back to you on this busy Tuesday.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth.